Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Distance Dilemma podcast with me, Sean Flynn, and Imran. I'm not going to say your surname in case I fuck it up again, but I'll let you do the honors of that because I'm paranoid now. I've watched the podcast from last week and listened to it about 3 or 4 times, and I'm still paranoid that I'm going to get it wrong. But it's my best mate, Imran. That's it. He doesn't have a surname.
If you actually going to listen back to yourself, that you said Sean Flynn.
Oh, okay, okay. It's actually
It's like
Shane.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
actually Shane
yeah.
Flynn. That's my name.
My name's actually Sean, and he's Imran. Yeah,
And we are Jet.
and we are Jedward. So we're recording at a different time this week, folks.
Yeah, this is a strange one. We only because we usually record once a week on a Thursday evening, but this Thursday I'm playing a gig with my band, so I cannot do that. So
Free plug.
I did this thing. I don't want to be that guy of being like, "Hey, plug the music," but I can't. There's no point in plugging the gig because by the time this goes out, the gig will be done. So
That is true.
you
Here's
can
a
watch
clip
the
of
gig
the
back. But yeah, so we're recording at a different time this week. So we only recorded the last episode like 4 days ago. So it's like we usually have like a big gap between. There's like loads that's happened, but there's been like relatively little. It's been a bank holiday weekend over here. You know, that's
Yeah.
kind of the big thing. Is it a bank? I'm assuming it's not. It's St. Bridget's Day
No,
holiday
it's
over
not a
there.
bank holiday. No, no, no. They had a carnival here at the weekend.
Oh,
So
cool.
like the one, so people dress up in costume, play music. But I was working the whole weekend, so makes no difference to me.
I've heard
Really,
Carnival is meant to be brilliant.
yeah, it is. I mean, it was really cool. Like good atmosphere, loads of bands, confetti, kids running around in costumes. Pause. But
That's us.
besides all
That's
that,
us.
besides all that, this morning was really weird. Okay, so for the first time ever in my life, I cut my ear shaving. So I shaved
Oh,
my face, lining up, and I was trying to do like this side part here, like just the
yeah.
edge,
The side
like
for the
underneath
the audio listeners, it's the side that kind of like cheekbone sideburn area.
Yeah, yeah. ASMR description.
Yeah, it's like you
And I
start
literally
like
just cut
feeling your
myself.
beard into your microphone.
You can kind of see, I don't know, you probably can't see it. There's like a white mark there. But
Oh
that
yeah, I
was
can see
just
a white
like,
mark. Yeah.
yeah, it was like gushing blood. But
Oh
I was like, how do you even do, like, how did I even get that high up? Why am I
yeah.
cutting here? Isn't
How hairy are
like
your
oh
ears?
weird.
That's the question I
Bad, bad.
have.
That hour of blood
I
makes a
did was
difference in the
I
air.
thought I'd say that, but I didn't want to say it. But yeah, at least you did.
And Sean's a hairy dude as well, guys. For
I'm a
anyone that
hairy
can't
guy.
see
Yeah, I
it.
need to go
Yeah,
get
yeah.
my hair cut tomorrow.
Same.
So yeah, I this moan has been like pestering me for the last month to go get a haircut. I don't really like get my haircut, so I just kind of let it grow until the wind blows. Until it gets to the point where like it's like now at the point I had a shower like 2 3 hours ago, and my hair is still like not fully dry. So now it's like at the point it's like right, okay, I need to get a cut. But I was like, oh, I'll wait till the gig, like because I don't like going to the barbers because a bit of PTSD, because I just don't like going that often, So I'm like, oh, I'll wait till like I have something on to cut it for, So we got a
I feel
gig.
like it is a bit of a nuisance to like go to the barber. Like it is a bit of a, and at least you have it. But like I know Sean has a barber. Like one guy he
I
goes
well,
to
I
all the
used to. The
time.
thing is, I
Or
don't because I do. Shout out to Adam Courtney. Love Adam Courtney. He was my barber for like 6 years, but I'm not going to him anymore just until I get my license because he's too far away. Like I'm not gonna spend 2 hours on the bus back to Blanche just to get my hair cut for half an hour, just to spend 2 hours coming back.
going
And
back.
there is a barber around the corner from my house that I got my hair cut in like October, and it was like one of those like proper like Turkish barbers where like I got my face covered
Oh
with
yeah,
like a
yeah.
hot towel, and it's like one
Oh,
of those things
see,
like you see on like TikTok, like the ASMR things. I got like one of those like whole
was
hot towel
amazing.
shave. It was as I said, I don't really like going to the barbers, so it was very
Yeah,
different. I'm very used to barbers being very hands off with me, which is why I don't really like going because of like my psoriasis and stuff. Like I always find
yeah,
barbers. That's why I like going to Adam, my guy who I've gone to for the last 6 years, because I know Adam. Adam knows me. He knows that I'm not going to give me diseases, But like I find
yeah.
a lot of the time some barbers are very hands off me, and that's why I don't really like going that much. But to be fair, this guy, well, it was a bit of a different experience. I wasn't sure what to expect, but yeah, it felt kind of class. Like it did. Like, I felt like a new woman when I walked out the barbers. Woman is the way because he cut a lot of hair off me. He went a little bit short, but you know,
Yeah.
it was
That's my
it
biggest
wasn't
problem
even
with
his fault.
barbers. like my big, I am calling out all you barbers. You pull up the hair, yeah. You pull up the hair, and you go this much, and I always say no, a little bit less, and I pull up to that much, and then he goes, yeah, no problem, and then you come out with the barbers, and your hair is shorter than your eyebrows, and you're like, hey, I told you to take like this much off.
You
Even
have
now,
I've never seen somebody with as bad looking haircuts as you. You've had some
I
horrific
am
botch jobs over the years.
the king of having bad haircuts. And I asked my girlfriend because I don't know how she stuck with me through the rough times. I've been to some. It took me a
Especially during
while.
COVID when Mango started cutting
Oh
your hair.
my, yeah.
Shout out to Mango, love you Mango,
Shout
but
out to
that was
Margot.
it. This
Terrible
is why I just let
barber.
mine grow.
Terrible trims. Yeah, I've got some funny videos that we can post on the story from then. But yeah, a lot of bad haircuts over the years. I think it is good having one barber because
Yeah.
they know after a while what style of hairstyle you want, how much you want off the top. You don't have to like go in and tell them, okay, yeah, I want this much, this length, because each has their different style of the way they cut their hair as well.
Yeah, this is where like this and like when I have my license, I will be going straight back to admin. It's just right now, it's not like it's not worth
Yeah,
like the time that it's going to take me to get to a bench, especially if I'm doing it after work, or like if I'm doing it on the
especially.
weekend. I'm literally spending like
Mm,
5 hours doing it when I could walk around the corner and get it done in 30, 40 minutes. Like well,
mm.
with the amount of hair I have at the moment, it's not going to be it'll be at least an hour. But like you said there, having your own person that you go to on a regular basis that I much prefer because like me and Adam are like mates now. Like I started off just I texted his page and was like, oh, can I like come up to you? And I was like 17 and like
Mm.
or 18 or whatever. I'm 25 now. And like Abham's a good mate of mine. Once Abham plays football with us, and I've met up with Abham after that. Like he's dead sound. I consider him a
Mm.
friend now at this point. That's I hate not going to him because I feel like I'm not supporting him as a mate now. But like I said, it's just too. It's like like it's a distance dilemma. You could say, way.
Yeah, I think the thing with barbers as well, they're so used to the shy talk because especially
Yeah,
if you work in a shop, you have to go through so many people of having the same conversation. Oh, how's
yeah.
your day? How you getting on? How's
It's
work?
like taxi man
How's
in that way.
Yeah, yeah. It's kind of like a new version of that because I feel like I don't know what it is. Ever since we were in skilled barber and got so popular, like it started becoming like an
Mm.
art form where like it's just like Instagram pages and it's more
It's a great side
how
hustle. It's a great way to like get a bit of money, like especially at a young age. When you think
yeah
of when we were 16 and we started working, you're getting paid like what like eight
shit
nine quid an hour minimum wage, and you're working
barely
crap hours. Me and you both worked in hospitality in pubs and restaurants and stuff.
gigs and
You're
everything.
working crap hours. Whereas if you do a barbering course, you can do the course relatively quickly,
Mm.
and you can start cutting hair and you can start charging 30 quid an hour.
You can also do like if you just cut from it, like if you're at a young age, you can probably get away with just cash in hand for a while, just cutting in
Yeah,
your back garden, giving your mom a few quid once a week for the
there you go.
electricity. But like, I mean, it's definitely over the past couple of years, I think, coming a massive thing in Ireland where there's like a huge industry of like all these like barbering shops, like Cut and Sew is one, West
Grafton
End,
Barber.
craft and barbers, like, and then even now I always see like I've like three people I follow on Instagram, just that I know of, like I just know them, and they have Instagram pages like for their barbering and stuff. So
Mm.
yeah, it definitely is an industry, I think. But
Yeah. It's shout out. We'll move on from this, but shout out to Adam Courtney. Anybody in Blanche looking for a fresh cut, Adam Courtney is your guy. Sound and
shout
reliable.
out Adam, good
Always shout
baller.
out to Adam Courtney. Baller as well. So yeah, we'll move on to stuff from episode 2. We recorded episode 3, as I said the other day, and I don't know about you, but I'm super proud of that episode. I'm
Probably
really
our
sorry. You gone?
probably our best episode compared to the other two.
Mm,
More of a serious topic, more to what our whole channel is about, really, about the
for sure.
podcast. But yeah, I agree with Sean. Probably my favorite one so far.
Yeah, and the good thing it wasn't like super like it wasn't the most like funny, but I just found it like the topic was genuinely just really interesting. But because of that, in episode 2, we set up some polls that we never disclosed. So we have got to move on to the polls from episode 2, which I'm sure everybody is eagerly awaiting the answers for. So we asked you 3 questions. We asked you, would you go to the cinema by yourself? Would you go to a concert by yourself? And then we asked you about your Chinese orders. So starting off with the cinema. And this one won by a landslide. 79% of people said they would go to the cinema by themselves, and we said this. We don't. I don't think that's. I've gone to the cinema by myself loads of times. Don't think it's a big deal to go by yourself at all. You're there to watch the film. You don't need to talk to anybody while you're watching the film. You know, yeah. If you want to go and see it, go and see it. Like,
Yeah.
I'm happy that that is kind of like, at such a landslide
I
as it
kind of
were.
found like I kind of thought before that poll went out that most people would agree with us, just
Yeah.
because I genuinely over the past couple of years, like anytime I've ever had a conversation with someone, no one ever like looked at it weirdly, like being like, "Oh, I'd never go to the cinema." I mean, I guess if you're not really that much into the cinema, they're probably the people that voted no, like the people that only go like maybe
For the big
3 times a
blockbusters,
year
like,
for the big blockbusters, like a movie that they want to see.
yeah,
Whereas you have like the casual goers that go, once or twice a
fairly
month,
frequently, yeah,
fairly
for sure,
frequently.
for
Like,
sure. And then our next one was, would you go to a concert? And this one was a little bit tighter. So it was actually no, more people would not go
yeah.
to a concert. 64% of people said no,
Mm.
36% of people said yes. And I honestly, I challenge us, I encourage us to do it. It's such good crack. Like, genuinely, I think it's one of those things where you'll learn a lot about yourself. Like I said, like, it's not even like
Mm.
a thing about like relationships or whatever. Like I said, I go to concerts by myself all the time without Simone, and it's just like sometimes it's just nice to have like your own bit of space and do the thing. Now I'm really into concerts. Like, I get if
Mm.
people aren't like huge into concerts like I am. Like, I'd go and see anybody, anywhere, anytime. Like, give me enough notice and I'll be there. Well, I encourage anybody, if there's a band in your local, like, playing in like town, like if there's a band you like playing the Olympia and you don't know anybody who likes the band, just go and see them. Like, it's a bus away if you're going into town, or if you want to go to Malahide, it's great crack. I think it's something that people should do. You will spend maybe like an hour or two by yourself, because like you'll be waiting for the support act to come on, and then you'll be waiting between the support act and the main act and stuff. But genuinely, I think it's a really like, it's similar to the cinema thing, but it's obviously a bit longer. But I encourage anybody to do it. Have you done it yourself? Gone to a concert by yourself?
I haven't gone to a concert by myself, but I've been at a concert where I've like lost the people I was with, and I'm for like a good part of the act by myself, and I think that's fine because you're around so many people that are watching the same act, so you're all just vibing together. But I think probably the main reason why people vote no is the thought of going to the concert by yourself beforehand. And the one thing I would say is when Shaun goes to gigs by himself, he tends to go to the front of the line where all
Mm,
the big fans of whatever act is playing, so they all have a common interest because they're obviously big fans. They want to have a good view, best sound, see if they can get photos,
for sure.
pictures, whatever. I think that's probably why most people voted no, because I think a lot of people go to gigs after going for grub, having a few drinks, go in a bit to the back, or they go into the middle. They don't want to rush up to the front. So maybe that's the only way I'm thinking why people voted no. But
Mm,
me personally, I don't think I'd go to. If it was a big gig, I don't think I'd go by myself. But if it was a band I knew, like a mate, like for example, like if Shaun was playing, I'd have no problem going by myself to see him because he's my mate and I know everyone in the band and I know I'm gonna see people there that I know. But I
mm,
feel like if it's a band on like a massive stage in like the Tree Arena, I don't think I'd go by myself. But again, everyone is up to their own interpretation
mm.
of how they view things.
That's fair. Like you said, like, I'm a big concert person in terms of, like, I like to be up the
Yeah.
front, and I like it's not even like a fan girl thing. I just genuinely like to have a better view. I like to go up the front. I like being able to like lean on the barrier and stuff, because like you are standing around for a long time when you do that. So
Yeah.
it's nice just to have somewhere to lean. And like you
The
said,
killer
like
kid.
when you're up the front, yeah. And like when
We were
you're,
standing for ages.
yeah, that was a long stand.
That was a long
Um,
stand.
but like, yeah, I think like it's like you were saying there as well. Like when you go up the front, you do tend to find people who are more kind of hardcore fans of bands as well. Like, so even when I'm not the big, like, I'm not the biggest hardcore like, I might have listened to only the most recent album, or like, I'm not the most like
Mm,
intensely into the band. Like, it's still nice to go up and, you, like you said, if you want to talk to people, there's people there to talk to. Like, when you can talk about that album, where you can ask questions, and you can waffle
mm.
away if you want, but you don't have to as well. Like, you can just kind of keep yourself. Like, sometimes you do just want to sit there and enjoy the gig. Maybe, like, if you're drinking, go and have a point or two. Like, or in my case, I'll go off and get a coke or water or something like that as
Whatever.
well. Something I look. Actually, have you been to a gig in Switzerland yet? This is a question I want to ask you.
Yeah, I have.
Okay, do they do
We
this
went,
like they do in Ireland? Do they have like things of water up the front? Like they do, because like if you go to the Olympia or the Three Arena, or any gig in Ireland, there's like piles of water up the front. So if you get dehydrated or someone's gonna pass out, they have cups of water. Like, I'd say like probably once every
Mm,
second gig, I flag the security guard and say, can I have some water? And they have up there. Do they have that in Switzerland?
no, I don't. I can't remember because we were fairly in the middle. and I just can't remember anyone passing out water
Mm,
at the front. But that is a common thing in smaller gigs in Ireland, especially in
mm,
Vicar Street. I was at Tommy Tiernan a couple of years ago, and they actually were passing out water at the front of that, which is weird because it's a comedian act.
mm.
So, but again, when he came on, everyone was standing. So
Oh,
you know
it's
what I
a
mean?
standing gig for a comedian. That's mad.
Yeah, it was weird. I think it was more of an interactive set from Tommy Tiernan, so I think he
Okay.
wanted people to stand so he could call them out, because that's his kind
Mm,
of stand up. He's a bit like Jimmy Carr, and slagging them in the audience and stuff like that. So
yeah.
yeah,
Fair
I don't,
enough.
I don't know. That is weird. I think that's only an Irish thing. I don't know. Has it happened anywhere else where you've been?
I
Have you
think
went? You've been?
I think I've been to gigs in other countries, and I think it has. But like it's always been for Irish acts. Like a lot of the gigs I've seen outside of Ireland have been Crohn's gigs. Like so the
Mm,
Crohn's lads might have said, "Oh, like have some up the front," or it could be part of their rider or whatever. So I wouldn't be the best judge of it, but just I wonder does it happen elsewhere? Because I think they do it in the States, and I think there's a couple of places in the UK that do it because it is such a smart idea. Because up the
mm,
front of a gig is really hot, really sweaty, and it's like if you're somebody who has queued for a long time and aren't like has because like I know myself, like if I'm going to a gig where I want to queue, I will limit my liquid intake. Like I won't drink a lot of water
yeah,
because I don't want to be going off to the bathroom because it's annoying for the people in the queue if you're constantly coming and going to the toilet because it looks like you're just leaving the
yeah,
queue. So not to a dangerous level. Like I still will drink, but like I will be like, okay, let's maybe only have one cup of tea this morning instead of like my usual three. Just
15.
like, stuff like that. Like I just be a bit more conscious of it. And there's been times where I've been up the front of gigs and like I feel like I'm just super dehydrated and I need it. Like it is a really really good idea to have. I think it just should be one of those things that most venues should do.
Mm.
Period. I think it doesn't cost that because it's only water, and it's just really good for health and safety.
I've been to 4 gigs away from Ireland, and I have to say the crowd in Ireland is better than every other place I've been to. I think the only reason is because uh, if you go to an Irish gig, everyone is singing, everyone is dancing, everyone is probably drunk, throwing shit in the air, which happens. Pet peeve, pet peeve. Do not agree with it. Don't throw
Yeah,
your
don't
drink
throw
at a
stuff in the
gig.
air. Don't throw stuff in the air
Don't
gigs.
do that, especially at gigs like Liam Gallagher. I got soaked the second time we went, and at Jerry Cinnamon, I got soaked as well.
Mm.
So don't do that. But I
And you
have to
don't
say,
know
I don't
what
think
you,
anyone
you
beats
just
the
you
Irish
just
crowd.
feel the warm liquids coming over your shoulder, and it
Oh,
all smells like piss. All the beer,
awesome.
all the cider, all the whiskey, everything smells like piss. So we genuinely don't know whether you're getting piss thrown at you or whether you're getting
Uh,
beer thrown at you.
now your girlfriend finally know. Now you know your girlfriend.
So
I had to stop myself so bad to say that.
speaking of water intake, something that I always need spare water for is my Chinese order, which is the next poll. After I have a Chinese, when I go to bed, there's a point of water coming to bed because I guarantee I'll wake up at 3 or 4 in the morning, parched, dehydrated. It's an essential. Do you do that like whenever you have a Chinese, like you're bringing a big glass of water with you?
Chinese and Indian have to,
Yeah, for sure.
have to, have to.
So
Point
we
glass.
asked the people about their Chinese orders. We got 2 responses. Shout out to everybody else. To be fair, we asked a lot of people on episode 2. We asked for all those submissions for episode 3. So
I,
well,
I
we got a
was I
lot of
was one of
submissions.
them.
And
I
then
was one
so
of
we
the
really got one
response.
submit. I wasn't going to say that, but we can keep the illusion.
No, I don't want to lie to the people. I'm not
So
JFK.
we have 1 response pretty much, and yeah, let's see what you think of this order. So this Chinese order is spring rolls, lemon chicken, and fried rice. That's it.
That's a very healthy Chinese order.
Yeah, isn't it? You need to
So
dirty that up,
healthy.
like.
There's no curry sauce or anything.
No curry sauce, no. And lemon chicken is like it's as healthy as you're getting in a Chinese. To be fair.
It is good though. I've had some good lemon chicken, but it's
I'm
not something
always
I'd
a bit
ever think
wary of
about
ordering it.
ordering.
It's like when you get beef and black bean, though. It's like sometimes it can just be
Yeah,
a bit too strong. It depends
too
on the
much black
Chinese.
bean as well.
I would
Mm.
never like go to a new Chinese for the first time and get it. It has to be like it's a trusted, reliable spot, and I go, oh, I'm not in the mood for salt and chili chicken, or I'm not in the mood for
Yeah,
like
yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
So I'm gonna get a beef and black bean or a lemon chicken or something like that. It's one of those ones like you're not taking any risks on. Love a spring roll
No,
though.
I do. I used to always order spring rolls, but then the problem I had a really bad one from Chung's, and it just turned me off it
Oh, chums and
completely.
Mount View is dirt, man. It's
Oh
honestly
man,
rotten.
it's so bad, so bad.
I
I
used
mean, you
to
know
work.
what?
I used to work in the pub next door to it, and I went to it like twice. I worked there for a year. I went to Chunks twice, and like both times the food like left me in bits after, like and it didn't taste great either.
No,
That
it's
was
shocking.
2016, 2017, something like that. Whenever I was working in the pub, but I wouldn't go back to it based on that, because I genuinely did feel sick after eating it.
Yeah, I'm glad Jimmy Chung's closed down as well. Hated Jimmy Chung's.
The buffet in town.
I hated it. And I genuinely think it's one of the most overrated places ever. I remember when we were kids, we used to always go for people's birthdays.
Yeah,
Like
for sure.
17,
That one of
18,
my like
16.
first
All of
like
us used to go.
one of my first like memories of like us as like a big friend group was going out for Mango's birthday, his 16th, because we obviously couldn't
Yeah,
go anywhere to drink, and I
everywhere
like
else.
no, I think we were not many of
Or
us were drinking
16.
at that point,
Yeah,
so we went to Jimmy Chung's on the Keys. And like that was like the big day out, that was
I
like no,
remember.
like taking photos, yeah, fresh mango 16th. We're going to Jimmy Chung's. Like it's not like you're going out or you're like going knackered drinking around. It's like yeah, looking fresh. It's got me haircut, got me Fred Perry, got me super dry, blah blah. Where is after lads? Jimmy Chung's.
Super dry. Shout out to Super Dry Jackets.
Oh, I yeah,
They
well
were literally running
no
around.
shout out to Super Joy Jackets. They never catered for the fucking XL community like myself. I could never fit into one of them. So shout out to
I never
Diesel.
had actually one.
Shout out to Diesel and Jack
Shout out to
Daniels.
Diesel. Yeah, that's what I saw. Yeah, no, I never had a Super Dry jacket. I just never got into them. I remember when we were younger, it was like that was the look. I'm trying to think of what other brands as well that people used to wear. Oh, do you remember them? You used to wear them. They're like Adidas X Fluxes or something they're called. They were
Oh
like the
yeah. I
ones
used
that
to
they had.
love those back in the day.
They're a comfy shoe. You used
They
to
were
always wear
class.
them.
Yeah, I'm a big. Simone slags me for this now, but I'm a Skechers guy now. Okay, and like
Oh,
because
he's
of the way
full
I
dad mode,
dress.
guys.
Oh, but this is it.
Full dad
Simone
mode.
says to me like I look like a 40-year-old dad because I wear Skechers jeans and like just any random band T-shirt. Like that's
Any
what I'm
band
wearing
t-shirt. That
on
is
any
the
given
ultimate
day.
dad look.
It's the ultimate like midlife crisis dad in 40s look like. Now I'm not going for like anything like mad. I'm not going for like any lube in the Skechers. Like I'm very plain when it comes to my I usually just get like a plain black
Black.
pair
Yeah.
of whatever is comfy and doesn't look like it was bought in like the middle aisle of Aldi. And that kind of fits the semi-stylish and won't get too dirty too quickly bracket. That's probably the shoe for me.
Isn't it
But
really
yeah,
weird that dad shoes came back around in fashion? Like I don't know, it's really weird.
yeah.
But even now, like New Balance have like jumped on that craze where it's like all the now like the style is like looking like dad shoes, and
Do
there's
you know
like
what
so many
I?
brands that copies it.
Do you know what I love, man? Crocs. Crocs are brilliant. Have we both got them on? Hold on. Hey!
Hey, yeah, buddy.
Jeez. Shout out to Crocs, man. Crocs are fucking
Shout
deadly.
out to Crocs. I went inbound for 3 months and I would have been lost if it wasn't for Crocs because my feet were getting so sunburned from walking around all day and like I had blisters and everything. And I remember one of the days I said to Nick, I was like, I can't do this. I have to walk around in Crocs. I had like cream all underneath my foot and I was just walking around with my Croc on. You know what I really want to get for my Crocs though? The giblets. They have
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the little things you put in house. Nicola got ones where I was like two Shrek horns. It looks really cool. So he's walking around with Shrek horns.
I was kind of disappointed when Nicola came over. I was wearing Shrek socks and she never pointed them out.
Oh, disappointing.
I'm wearing.
watched Shrek
I might
twice.
have Shrek socks on now.
What are you doing?
Yes, I am not flexible enough to bend this up to the camera, but just trust me when I say I have Donkey from Shrek all over my socks. Again, I'm not flexible enough to
Take
bend
it
it up.
up.
Like,
Take it up.
just start doing the handstand and doing claps with the like. Can you see them?
Get Simone to get the laundry there in the background.
What makes you think Simone's the only one doing the laundry in this house? That's a very sexist
I
thing.
just
for you
seen
to
her
say,
walking
Imran.
past the house. There's a
Yeah,
big massive basket.
she is doing the washing right now. To be fair.
I love the washing job.
Yeah.
One thing I refuse to do is iron. I think ironing is a waste of time.
Oh, if my nana Eileen heard you say that, she would give you such a slap. Eileen
Guarantee
used to
she
iron
irons
my
socks.
socks and jocks.
Oh
When I was
my
working.
god, man.
Legend. I had this thing. So when I lived with my ma, I done the washing. Like that was my like thing. Like I cooked and I done the washing and I done the cleaning, whatever. And
More
like
fun
I just got so used to washing your own socks and jocks. So when I moved in with my nana Eileen, she is very insistent of it's her washing machine. She's doing it. And that's that. She wouldn't she genuinely wouldn't let me do my own washing. Like this is the whole thing for like the first
handy.
month or two. handy, but like as well, like I felt a bit like I, don't know, I felt a bit like you're just letting your nana do your washing. Like I'm 20, like I was 21 when I moved there. It's like you're in your 20s, man. You should be doing your own washing, like. So this is the whole like thing of like whenever she went away, she was like, right, Sean, this is how you use it. I'm like, I know how to use it. Well, to be fair, I didn't know how to use her specific one, but I would have figured it out, like. Um, but yeah, I forget why I brought that up. Just
I
to prove
don't
the
know
point
why.
of like just to prove
I
the
don't
point
know
of
why
like
though.
I can do
Like,
my own washing.
here's the biggest thing, right? I know about like 10 lads, and
Oh,
I could
Ireland,
call names. I could go at right now, but I won't. That don't know how to use a washing machine.
that's
Lads,
disgrace.
come on. Come
I
on, man.
think
These are 25, 20 Steve.
by the time you're
By the
21,
time
you need to
you're
be able to cook yourself about 5 decent meals, and you need to be able to do your own washing. Like,
5 meals.
be
Literally,
able to make
even if it's
yourself five
beans,
dishes.
beans on toast is a meal.
Yeah, scrambled
Eggs,
eggs on toast is a
pasta,
meal.
literally pasta. Anything to put in the oven. A pizza, that's food. You can put
Yeah,
it in the oven. Congratulations.
I love cooking
Oh
though.
man.
So I've been cooking since I was like 15, 16. So I just
Because I
love to
work
cook.
in a restaurant, or a restaurant, a pub, uh, I do like enjoy cooking, but I need to be off. I hate going from cooking to coming home, showering, and then having to cook again because it feels
Yeah.
like you're just working again. So every time I'm in work now and I shake the basket, I just imagine Jeremy White from the chef, or from the
The
bear,
bear.
just shaking the basket. You know that cold ass pig.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's like I get that. Like that's where kind of like working from home is handy for me because like I can like go for my lunch break and start prepping dinner. I can just peel the veg real
Yeah,
quick and I can
yeah,
do all the kind of crap tasks because like I like for my lunch I tend to kind of keep things simple. Like I'll just like have like some soup or like just a sandwich or like I'll keep it simple for my lunch or maybe like noodles or something like that. I tend to just keep lunch quite simple for me when I'm working from home. But like
yeah,
for the couple of minutes that I have like left over, like then I'll tend to like peel veg, just put them into water. So then when it hits 5 o'clock, I'm just doing the actual cooking. I'm not doing the preparation for it, which is a big time saver. It's what I love about working from home that I'm not spending ages on a commute and kind of just like it's not wasting time, obviously, like but like I always felt like I was kind of like being unproductive because I didn't want to be like
yeah,
doing too many like personal things on my phone just because like I know people are nosy on transport because I'm nosy on transport as well. Like you don't mean to be, but every once in a
yeah.
while, like you're behind somebody in the bus and you catch wind of some goss, and you're like,
I don't know. That's just
mm.
an Irish thing, though. We all love
Yeah,
goss.
nosy bastards.
Yeah, nosy bastards. What's
Um,
I was gonna ask you like what do you prefer? So obviously you've worked in industries where you've worked a 9 to 5 job. So do you prefer working from home or do you prefer doing a 9 to 5 job? I mean,
like in
you
the office,
technically are
sorry.
doing a 9 to 5. Yeah, I mean in the office. Would you rather be in the office or being at home? Which do you
Being at
prefer?
home, 100%.
Yeah,
No, I don't work fully remote. I do have one day a week, and in the office, and like every couple of weeks, we'll have like events or meetings that we have to go to in person. Like so like I might in a month, I'd probably spend 3 days a week just doing one day at home, and then like the other 2 weeks, I'd probably have extra meetings or events or stuff that I have to go to. Like no week is ever super similar in my job, which is what I kind of like about it.
yeah,
But like in general, 100% working from home. Like it's little things like being able to get up and I can get up at half 8, have a shower, make a cup of tea, and like just whip up like some toast and eggs, and like just really quickly like have my own bit of space. And then like I can come into my office, and my office is set up the way I want. Like like I have my work monitor here, and I have everything the way I want it. So even when I have to come in here and do the podcast or when I have to do some music bits, like it's set up the way I want that's comfortable for me.
yeah,
So yeah, like I said, I personally love working from home. I think it's like it's the way forward. Like and it makes me more productive. Like I say this to the guys in work all the time. I genuinely am so much more productive at home because I can kind of get into the zone because I'm comfortable with my surroundings. Like I find when I go into the office because you got people there, I waffle a bit more, and you're a bit more tired from the commute as well. Now that's again probably me just
that
after
extra
getting a bit
hour in bed as well
the extra hour in bed makes so much. Like I
makes
feel
such a
because
difference. I'd say.
Simone's job moved, so they were in town, but now they're out in Blackrock, and so like Simone's literally travels the opposite side of Dublin now, and she's not driving yet. So Simone's to get up at like 6:30 to get to her job for 8:30. And so she's getting up and she's kissing me goodbye, and I'm just there cuddled up in bed, and she's
Me
arriving
every
to
day.
work. She's like has to start at 8:30, and I'm barely even out of bed yet. But then on the flip side of that, when she comes home, there's always a dinner ready for her as well. So
True, true, true. Benefits of both sides.
yeah, but for sure, I think in general, um, if you can find, if anybody's looking out there looking for work, try and find a job that work, and if that helps you work from home, because like I'm busy, like, and it's like people like I see a lot of people like say like, oh, if you work from home, you're lazy, or you can get lazy, or blah blah. It's like if you have a job that's letting you work from home, I think the employer knows that they have enough work to give you to keep you busy enough that you're not gonna be dossing, like, because like
Mm,
I know that's the case for me. Like I don't have time to DOS. I have just too much stuff to do. In my job, like I very rarely get a chance to like I do forget to like get up and just like get a cup of tea, like just to kind of stand up from your desk, like you would do in your office job, like little things like
mm.
just taking a little toilet break, taking 5 minutes, just have a little breather. Like you don't do that as much at home, which again can be a good and bad thing. But I'm also again like I'm very lucky that I have my own space here. Like I have my own office. I would really understand like it might be a bit tougher if you were still like living at home with your parents. Like because I did that with Eileen for a while. Like and I just had to do it in the sitting room, the kitchen and stuff, and it's not as cozy and comfortable doing it that way. But again, like there's a lot of positives that come with it as well. Like so yeah, that's my tangent
Yeah,
for
I
the
think.
week.
No, I think a lot of people would agree with you on that sense. I think probably the biggest thing for me is going from working part time to then working full time, and then working a 9 to 5, which I did when I was working at Marks, and then from going from that then back to part time work now, where it's like shift work. Shift work is really kind of annoying, especially when you get older, because when you're planning, especially like with us with the podcast, it's always when I'm free, or now this week it just happened to be when Finn was free. So I think productivity can be a bit annoying. The only thing I would say is I have a lot of time in the morning. So from 9 to 5, I have a lot of time. So that's what I was saying. I was laughing because when my girlfriend's going to work at 6 a.m. as well, I'm in bed, snuggled up, extra blanket over. Oh, thanks, honey. And then, but I think the thing is, you can fall into a trap if you don't get up early. I think
Yeah, for
I've
sure.
done it a couple of times where I slept in till half 10, 11, and then you just feel shit because you feel like you just wasted the whole, like, three
Yeah, for
hours.
sure.
Where like
Yeah.
if you get up, get your tea and go for a walk, do whatever you do. I would have nice. My dog's back at home in Ireland, so it would have been nice if he was here, to go on a walk in the morning just to get me out of the house. But now what I
Mm.
tend to do every time I get up in the morning, I'll have a cup of tea, clean up the house from the night before, and then I'll just go on a walk just to get some fresh air.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Because if not, I'll just be in the house, doing stuff that I want to do, and but I think you still need to make time for yourself when you're working, like, working from home. Like even just an hour, like turn on a show you like, or listen to
Yeah, for sure.
music
Yeah.
or radio or
That's
whatever.
what another thing I like about like I like about the 9 to 5 is like I know I'm in work from 9 to 5 Monday to Friday. Like I know I can't like I'm always busy. Like I've always
Mm.
been a busy guy. Like since I was like 16, 17. Like I've always been one of those people that's like always out the door and busy, which my therapist is telling me I need to relax on. But I digress. But because like I rehearse on Mondays, and Tuesday is usually like a day where like something will pop up. It's like, oh, can you do something for me? It's like, okay, I'm free on Tuesdays. Wednesdays I play football. Thursdays we do the podcast, and then we have to edit the footage from the podcast, and then I'm also like editing stuff from from rehearsals. Like I have to edit videos and stuff. So like it's nice to have that structure of like, okay, I know when I need to work. Like that's what I didn't really like about shift work, where like I couldn't know where I was gonna be the next week.
Mm.
Like so again, it works for some people. Like I'm like my drummer Adam, like he works for himself, and he loves that we were talking about this because like me, Keen, and Billy, the guitar player and bass player, we all work 9 to 5s, and we're all like, we love it, we love the stability. But then Adam was not like, no, I couldn't do that. Like, he loves the kind of freedom to be able to just kind of do what he wants next week. Like, and like I get that as well. Like, I totally get that. But
Mm.
yeah, for me, I just love the stability.
I think it just depends on the person, really, like their kind of way of lifestyle. Because everyone lives. It's funny because we meet up once a week to have a talk, like, and chat up and catch up. But we might on our daily basis be doing completely different things,
Mm,
or like start our mornings completely different. But that might suit me, but it mightn't suit you in a different sense.
mm.
I think the only thing I get from you is you do everything 100%, which is a blessing in disguise. So, like, one thing I met about Sean is he doesn't half-arse anything. So anything he does, he has to do it to like 100% maximum, which can be a good thing, which I would say is a good thing. But I definitely there is parts of it where you're just like, okay, man, you just need to chill and take a breather.
Yeah, because I think some people at times as well with me like one thing I hate being called is something because my mom used to call me this all the time is I don't like being branded as lazy because I'm not lazy. I just won't start something I know I can't finish. So if I don't have the capacity to finish something, like you said, I will do it 100%. So if I say right, look, I cannot give my all on this, I won't bother doing it. Like
Don't
it's
do
like
it.
it's the same way, and it's the same with like it doesn't matter if it's podcast, music, work, or out like that. I will not take something on without knowing that I can give it. And like it's also a passion thing as well. Of like I won't. Like if someone asks me to do something, it's like I don't think I can do this to a level that somebody else could for you because I'm just not that invested in it. Like so like I've passed on some cool opportunities before just because I'm like I just don't think I could like give it my all
Give your
for
all.
like one. It might be the project or it might be just timing and stuff as well. Like a lot of that sort of stuff came up when my mom died. Like because the music thing has been picking up. Like so some things came up and I was like I had to be like look I just can't do that at the moment just because I haven't got the headspace for it. Like I said, won't do it unless I can give it my all.
You're
Like
in it. Yeah.
even with cooking
Give it
as
my
well.
all.
Like I will not. I'm either taking everything apart in the kitchen and making the nicest dinner we can, or I'm like sticking something in the air fryer and forgetting about it for 20 minutes and then coming back to it.
And coming back to it, yeah. Double conjuring. But yeah, no. I think good stuff for people to poll on this week in the podcast. I would say first thing I want to know is what people prefer, with it working from home or going into the office.
Yeah, for sure. That's poll number one for working, and then we'll do a second one. What else has come up in this episode?
I think I'd like to think if people think diary writing would be a good idea, because that's something me and you both took an interest in. I mean, Sean actually was the person who suggested it to me about 2 or 3 years ago.
Mm,
And then I picked it up, I'd say about 2 years ago. And honestly, lads, if you're have a busy schedule, or if you're lacking motivation to do anything during your days because you've no work, it is the perfect way to have productivity in your day. Even if it's like
yeah,
something small, like have breakfast, because the amount of people that forget to have lunch is like ridiculous. Like I talk to my mates, and
yeah.
all the time I'm forgetting to eat. So yeah.
I think that's not a problem with me. I've actually taken that advice on board a little bit too well.
I actually added an extra meal, guys.
Yeah, we actually have three stages of breakfast now. So,
Good eating.
but yeah, we have to wrap it up now because as we have mentioned before, we are still on the free Zoom plan and we've got less than a minute to go. So, thank you all so much for your love and support in the podcast. Thank you, Imran, for joining me. Thank you for listening
Thank you,
to
brother.
the Distance Lemma. You can watch us on YouTube. You can hear us on Spotify. And we're on all the usual places, Instagram, TikTok. And send us an email if you want us to talk about something, thedistancelemmapod@gmail.com. Thank you so much for joining us. And yeah, I'll hand it to Imran.
Thanks, guys. All the support's been brilliant lately. We'll see you next week. Should we end the podcast like there's a clap?